The image on your screen is real. There is no need to adjust your graphic settings and turn off ray tracing. The jank-looking base set Comic Sans Blastoise with a Magic the Gathering background is a test print from 1998 by Wizards of the Coast. And don't worry, it can't hurt you because it's behind a protective case. So yeah, we have one of the craziest pieces of collectible cardboard to ever be discovered, and it has been certified by CGC. So let's get into the news. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, and if you know any friends that would be interested in this kind of stuff, please share it with them as well. Let's get into what's going on here. So CGC Trading Cards certifies 4 extremely rare Pokemon test print Blastoise cards, 3 fascinating Pokemon Magic hybrids, and blank back presentation card are among the first English Pokemon cards ever printed. That is probably the craziest thing to come out of all of this Pokemon TCG hype. Let's learn more because this is fascinating. CGC Trading Cards has authenticated and graded 4 extremely rare Pokemon test print Blastoise cards. These cards, created in mid-1998, were among the first attempts by Wizards of the Coast to create English Pokemon cards. All of these cards feature Blastoise art that was used on a Japanese promo, as well as the Pokemon Blue game cover. That is something cool. Like, just think about that. The Sugimori art was used to prototype the English Pokemon TCG set. So it's not just like, oh man, the Pokemon Blue cover. Like, the history of that has a little more depth to it now. 3 of the 4 have Magic the Gathering backs, while 1 has a blank back. The cards have been long subject of intense debate, but 2 things are now certain. They are authentic test prints made by WotC, and they are among the hobby's most intriguing rarities. CGC Trading Cards is the first third-party certification service to consistently authenticate and grade production test cards within the TCG market. Oddities like these are evaluated by CGC Trading Cards' experienced and highly knowledgeable grading team with the aid of advanced forensic technology and expert consultants. So a lot of work, a lot of time literally spent in the lab to make sure that this is a real Blastoise card. Magic the Gathering back and all. Initially, it sounds absurd and crazy, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense because Wizards of the Coast produced Magic the Gathering, and they'd been printing cards for over a half-decade at that time. I believe Magic the Gathering Alpha came out in 1993, this Blastoise is from mid-1998, so it lines up. If they're just trying to do a test print for the front of the card, of course they're going to use the tools and what they already have available to them for the back of the card, because it doesn't matter at this time. They're still trying to figure out the back of the Pokemon card, that prototyping, whatever. It's like, how do we make Blastoise look like how are we going to figure out what a Pokemon card looks like? And this is the earliest known view of how the Pokemon TCG was going to go. And then there's also a holo check with a blank background. It's just so crazy to see how simple it was back then. They just took the art from Pokemon Blue version, slapped it onto a card, printed it with other things because Wizards of the Coast had the technology, and then they ran it out and see how it went. And the thing that's interesting to me are the scores as well. 6.5, so this one's beat up, bad corners, bad edges, surface also a little chunky. Kind of see that right there. It's like, yep, that's a ding on the side. That's not going to be good for the score. But the centering's a 9. So centering 9.5, one of the hardest grades to get. So like they made sure that that print went well, and then whatever happened in the last over 2 decades has just been damage to the card because yeah, it's a test print. It's, you know, what value does it have, especially before Pokemon even took off? So we're already dealing with really cool stuff, but let's get deeper into the history. The first time any of these cards publicly surfaced was in September 2016 when James Burton posted 2 examples in the MTG Rarities, Misprints, Test Prints, and Oddities Facebook group. We will call these examples Card A and Card B. So these 2 are the first ones. Now, MTG and pretty much any collectible card game or any TCG or any form of collectibles has major counterfeiting issues, so it's really just taken this long to make sure that they are real. Burton is well known in the Magic the Gathering community and sometimes sells oddities from the collection of a former Wizards of the Coast employee. Burton met this employee while working at Proctor Sports Card, a well-connected gaming store in the Seattle area near WotC headquarters, and that's another thing. Yeah, WotC out in Seattle, and then, like, you just meet people. You run into, like, weird things where, like, oh, yeah, I have a friend or a relative, or I used to work for one of these companies, especially when you're thinking, like, Redmond out with Microsoft and Amazon and all of these other kind of tech places and stuff. So it's like, yeah, those things just kind of happen. That's just this area. If you have connections, you're going to run into some really interesting people. I have friends that are friends with former WotC employees. I've also met people that have, like, ties to super early back in the day like corporate Pokemon stuff. A third example, Card C, was discovered in July 2019 by Maples. Maples grew up in playing Magic the Gathering and Pokemon in the Seattle area and eventually opened his own game store. Shortly after he did, Maples was contacted by the former owner of Exalted Games to purchase a storage unit containing what remained of the store, which had closed several years earlier. One of the boxes in the unit contained hundreds of WotC-era Black Star promos. Oh, I've seen just stacks and stacks of old school WotC cards, and I can't have them, and it makes me sad. Dozens of foreign holo rares, and the third known test print Blastoise. The crazy, like, imagine someone else that, like, was digging for this and found this true treasure of a modern era. Like, you know, you go to a storage unit of some guy that owned a card shop, and there's a Magic the Gathering base set Blastoise. Later that same month, one of the cards was brought to MTG Misprint Con to be looked at by a panel of experts. Most were or are administrators of the MTG Facebook. All have significant knowledge of the subject matter, including the authentication of Magic cards. Some on the panel are also experts in Pokemon, and this familiarity is very useful for test Pokemon cards printed by WotC. During the analysis, the panel had numerous cards on hand for comparison, including regular Pokemon and Magic cards from all eras, test prints, and other cards printed internally by WotC, as well as local printers. So they did the full comparison. They're like, well, this other thing that we know to be a test print, we can compare it to this Blastoise and kind of like figure out what's going on. The testing and comparisons were done with both the naked eye and a USB microscope, taking into consideration the various printing processes and the misprints that can occur. Card A was deemed 100% authentic. It was not rebacked, and both sides were printed using an offset printing press. Considering this evidence, it was determined that the card was a genuine product of WotC. Another example surfaced by this guy, Heritage submitted a card to CGC trading cards for your grading. Card D differs from the other. It's not on normal card stock, it features the same holo foil pattern from the base set, and it has a blank back. This card has been owned by a past member of the WotC public relations team since it was made in 1998. According to the former employee, the card was created for media use to demonstrate what an English Pokemon card would look like. Apparently, it was featured in only one interview and has been lost to time. Oh, so this isn't like a recent discovery. This is just something that was known about, and it came from the Heritage auctions. I guess I shouldn't have skipped over that name, because it's like, yeah, this actual like certifiable WotC employee presented this card, which then gives it the authenticity. Due to the reason behind its creation, CGC Trading Cards has noted commission presentation on the card's label. One other example was created for internal use, but the whereabouts are unknown. There's only a couple of these running around. In September 2019, we have more evidence. A couple of months after he discovered Card C, Maples met in person with a former WotC employee who was the senior pre-press systems analyst for WotC from March 1998 through December 2004. He also led the typesetter for WotC and helped create numerous Pokemon and Magic products. Again, you can just find these people. Nitz examined the cards and determined it was a genuine product produced by WotC. He even provided a photo of yet another example, this time on an uncut sheet surrounded by Magic cards with a black border. The black border version was apparently an earlier one. In fact, Nits stated that this black border Blastoise, still on the sheet, was the first English Pokemon card printed in foil. So they were running test prints of Pokemon cards while they were also doing Magic the Gathering. And then Homeboy right there is the first ever Pokemon card. The fact that a high-level WotC employee not only recognized these cards, but also happened to have one on an uncut sheet in his possession adds to the preponderance of evidence that these cards are indeed genuine products of WotC. Fortunately, CGC Trading Cards was able to contact him, who was kind enough to ship this sheet. What? Oh my, he actually gave the sheet to them for examination. And then that can be used for like future cards or WotC era product of this time. How casual. Did he just like fold it up? It's probably been folded up numerous times, like tucked into storage or something. But yeah, imagine the first ever Pokemon card printed and just like, yeah, I'm just gonna fold it up and mail it off like that. You know, there's just so many products and weird things from this era that this kind of insanity ends up happening. And then like, there's the foil test Blastoise, printed as an MTG black border. And look how chill they are about it. Poke test. Not like Pokemon, it was like, yeah, here's the Poke test, guys. Just the Pokemans. We're doing it. We getting that bid from the Pokemon company. So yeah, we got crazy stuff. One can see from the photos above that while the original images shared online imply the sheet is only a quarter sheet test, it's actually a full-sized one that had been folded into quarters. The entire right two quadrants are full of notes, mostly regarding the test print Magic cards, and then we have Poke Test, and then we go into the forensics and the craziness. Close-up of the holo pattern with the Blastoise holo compared to base set Magneton, examination, black light, all kinds of crazy stuff. So let's just get to the conclusion. After a thorough examination of the 5 cards utilizing all methods of resources available, including experts, consultants, microscopic inspection, imaging with specialized machines, and so on and so forth, the answer was obvious. All 5 cards were printed using the same printing process with the same plates and the same inks. 4 of those 5 were also printed on genuine Magic stock, complete with core in the paper. That is a blue core Pokemon card from the WotC area. And then multiple high-level former WotC employees have all stated that these are genuine test prints. Proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are legitimate. And that just kind of like wraps up the history of this one. And I'm guessing with like how the test prints went and from all the other information, there's probably not too many other ones like it. Whoever was able to just kind of snag them back in the early WotC days and then eventually distribute them, put them into some kind of storage locker somewhere, and then have them resurface and get graded and tested by CGC. It's like, yeah, this might be it. But there could still be some other ones. Like I've said, I've seen some really cool old school cards, but it doesn't get any better than like the first Blastoise ever printed, and then the first of other Pokemon cards as a test print. Like, yeah, you can have just stacks of original Pokemon cards that were never put into circulation from WotC employees, but this is on a whole nother level. So tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. It's fascinating. It's something I never thought I would see, and let alone having it be real. There's probably some like really hardcore old school TCG collectors out there that are probably already a fan of my audience. They're like, yeah, I've been following this one for years. I think it's cool that it finally got its conclusion, or know about all these other things, because you think about the group, you know, major misprints, test prints, and oddities. Leaks from WotC have been studied and known for a while now, and sometimes these things just kind of make their way onto the market, which is really interesting in itself. So guys, enjoy the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.